Hello, take two. Not sure what happened there. It was throwing a little wobbly. I know the other day it cut out. It was saying that I hadn't got enough storage space, but I had, so I'm not quite sure what's going on. And then today it just wasn't playing ball. So hopefully everybody is here now. It looks like it's all recording. The time is going and there's no red lights anywhere. So I'm going to continue it saying connected to YouTube and Facebook. And there's my little message to say it's there. So today I'm going to be showing you an old project that I've done a long while ago, but I've got lots of new followers since then. So I'm going to repeat it. But the reason I'm doing this is because I've had a new product arrive yesterday in my latest order. And I'm going to be sharing something that I've learned from another overseas demonstrator that I think is an absolute game changer for you. So hopefully you're going to like this. And I'm just going to shift the camera down onto the table and let's see what we've got. There we go. So I'm going to be showing you ribbon storage. How many of you have ribbons? I'm going to go like this and just literally they unwind off the rolls, and we need to find a solution for this. Now I have slightly gone one step towards this by doing my little boxes. I think that Alex drawers I've got over there from IKEA, they're really good. They're nice shallow drawers and I wanted a storage box to put in them. So I'm going to show you two things. I'm going to show you the first bit first and then I'm going to come on and show you how to make my little boxes, because these just stand up in here nicely. And I try and keep the ribbon so that it's at the top here, like so. And you can put a piece of tape on there as well. So once they're, we look like we're in business. Hello, Marilyn. Nice to see you. So this one's obviously used a lot more of that one. So I'm just tidying those up. I'm going to put those in there and then show you how we're going to stop all of that happening. So I'm going to do the box last. I'm going to do the, oh, that's a loose piece. I'm going to do the actual game changer first. And now, one of our overseas demonstrators. Hi, Pam. Happy birthday to you, my dear. One of our overseas demonstrators has created this little thing to help you stop your ribbons from rolling off the spools. So it's this little thing here, and it's a really simple method. So I'm going to use, this is from the Pampered Stamper. Okay, this is the demonstrator that I saw did it, and I've got a couple of samples there, and we're going to do that first and give you the calculations, and then I'm going to go on and show you the box. So how to do the box. Really both of them really super simple things to do, but I'm sure you're going to find they're a real game changer. So first of all, we're going to start off with our trimmer. You need a 1/2-inch strip of card. So I've gone to my scrap box here. There's always strips in here. You want about 1/2 inch is best. So I think this one measured was, yes, it is 1/2 inch. Okay, so when you're looking to see, right, okay, how are you going to find these measurements? You're going to start by using my ruler here. I've done mine in centimetres, but you can do it in inches. You're going to start by going from the centre of this hole here to the outside. Now that is your, I've called it X, so that's your X measurement, okay? You're then going to measure the width of this ribbon from the outside. So if I put my glasses down, I'll be able to see properly. There we go. So you're going to measure from the outside of this board on here. So this one was 1.3. Hi, Rhonda. Hi, Lynn. So we've got 4.3 so far, and then we've got 1.3. Okay, they're your two measurements you have. So you're going to have the X measurement, the Y measurement, then the X measurement, the Y measurement, and then you want another X. So you want 3 of the X's. Now I've done a little chart here. I hope that that's going to help you. So X is the center to the outside edge, and Y is the width of the ribbon, and that's obviously the outside of that the cardboard mount. Okay, so you need another X and a Y and another X, and that's where you're going to cut it. That's the length you need. So I've given you some examples here, which is this one here actually. This is a very fine ribbon, and we've got a big hole on there, so that is going to just slide through there. But we can't make that because was actually the width of the punch. So just get that back around there. It does help to stop them unrolling. All I would say is because it's fine, make sure you leave a longer tail on it, so it's going to be further back around here. Okay, but that will literally, and it moves around with you. I've then done another measurement here, so I'm going to show you how I calculate this one. we'll be able to take a screenshot of this at the end. So this was a new bolt of ribbon. This is the, where are we? Upside down in here. This is the frayed grosgrain ribbon, okay, and it is 1 centimetre wide on here. So it's beautiful ribbon, new in my box that I was just unpacking, and I'm going to show you how we measured that one out. So on here, I'm going to grab a different colour pen. So let's go in with the red one again, I think. Yeah, so you can see these stand out. So I'm going to go from the outside here, forget there's one on there. I'm going to go from the middle here to the outside, and that is the same as the other ribbon I just showed you. It's 4.3. So on this one we're going to put down 4.3, and then that's my X, so I want that 3 times. So 4.3, and then a plus, and then a Y, and then I want an X. Okay, so that's going to be 3 times. Then I'm going to measure the width. So in this case, glasses on, it's going to be, from the outside of that board, it's going to be 1.8. Just check that a couple of places. Yeah, 1.8, 1.9 if you want to be a little bit generous. So 1.9 and 1.9. Okay, so they're your measurements, and then that's going to equal your cutting line. Okay, so we're going to take that and add those together. If you can do your maths in your head, then that's fine. If not, you can take a calculator. You want 4.3 times 3 plus 1.9 there and a 1.9 there. So that's going to be 16.7. Okay, so what did I say? 16? Yeah, 16.7. Okay, so that's going to be your cutting line. Now I'm going to show you how I worked out the score measurements. Obviously, the Americans tend to do things in inches. So I have just translated it because I'm a centimetre girl, and you can get a little bit more precise. So 4.3, you're going to score this one at, you've got your X's in there, you've got your Y now, so you're going to add these score lines together. So 4.3 is the first one, and then you're going to score at 4.3 plus this one. So that's going to be 0.2, and then 4, 5, and 1 is 6, so 6.2. Okay, so your first score line is for your 4.3, then a 6.2, then it's going to be this one and that one. So 10.5 in the gap there, 10.5 and the 1.9. So 9 and 5 is 14. Carry 1, 10, 11, that's going to be 12.4. And then 4.3 and 12.4, add those together and you would end up with 16.7. So simple little bits of maths, and they're just 2 measurements. One from the middle to the outside, which is this one here. Okay, and then one from the width here, from the outside of that board. So if we just do that on my little example here, I'm going to work my way along, just scoring. If you can see those measurements at the same time, I'll do that. So 4.3 on my cutting trimmer board here, paper trimmer. And then your next measurement is going to be 6.2. So I'm going to go to 6.2, score that. And then the next one is 10.5 and score that. And the next one's going to be 12.4. And oops, today's it moved. 12.4 and score that. And then we're going to cut it at 16.7. So that's going to be another X on there. So there's, it's going to be 0.7. So 16 is on that score line in the middle. So 16.7, I'm going to go to 17 and come down by 3 because it's working back the other way. And that's going to be the final one, so I want to cut that one there. Okay, so that should be our measurements. Okay, so we've got 2 little ones and 3 big ones. Okay, so we're going to crease all of those. Just on those, just score those. On this end. And that. Okay, so we have 3 of that measurement and 2 of that one. Okay, so that's how it looks. Now, what you're going to do on one of the small areas, you're going to put a little line through the middle here. Okay, now my new tool that came yesterday, sorry. These are the hole punch assortment pack. These are all handy little measurements for tags. Now this is 1/8 of an inch, I believe, so small. Yeah, 1/8 of an inch on the circle, the dot there. And then you've got the little tag here that punches nicely for a tag for ribbon to go through. And then you've got a slit. Okay, so we're going to be using the slit one today. Okay, so as I say, this isn't my idea. This is from the Pampered Stamper. So I'm just going to, where that line is, I'm just going to come in from that and just punch that little hole out. Can you see that on the camera there? There's a line through the middle of that, and I'm just going to punch that one out. Okay, that goes in the bin. And then you see there's a little piece left over there. Just bring that up to the camera. So I'm just going to go in again and make that a little bit longer. Okay, just come along there and take that out. Okay, doesn't matter if it's a little bit jagged at all. So I'm going to just take that. I really want to take that one off, but I will show you what I do. I should have done it on a different size ribbon, really, shouldn't I? But I'm going to take this one here. I'm going to put the ribbon is going to come through. I'm going to have to take one off, aren't I? Looks a bit wider than 1/2 inch, actually. That is, before I start doing anything, that was a bit wider than 1/2 inch. So now I've got the bits on the side there. Is that half? Yeah, it was slightly over. It's hard for me to take. Okay, you like me to make the mistake, so you don't have to. So what I'm going to do here is actually place that one on the 1/2 inch line. Okay, that might not be in the middle. Okay, but I'm just going to hold that one that side and then just cut that like so. So let's just cut that extra little piece off. Okay, it doesn't matter, it's not in the middle. Just for aesthetics, really. It's just nice to see, isn't it? So I'm going to take the end of the ribbon, take this one off, and we're going to thread the ribbon through the little ribbon threader here, like so, and slide it down. So this is a new bolt of ribbon, like I said, so I've just taken the plastic off to so you can see what I've done, and just bring it down here so we can see where it's going round. I am going to take that one off, it's just confusing you now. So that's going to sit on there, and then this end is going to tuck through the middle. Okay, so you remember we had 3 sides, 2 of them are going to overlap. It's up to you. I don't like to have the loose end at the top, so I'm going to pop that underneath, and they're just going to line up on there, and there is our little dispenser, and it's just going to keep moving around. So I'm just going to glue those 2 together. This is where we have a front and a back, but we've got an overlap. So the glue is going to go on here, just through the centre there. Not too much, we don't want it to ooze out. Just going to overlap those like so. Like I say, this is a game changer. And the box I've been doing for quite a while. So you might have seen that one before. Okay, so there is our little ribbon. And as we pull that through, it's just going to move around. Now, isn't that a really nifty idea? And it works for all sizes of ribbon. Okay, so you're just going to wind this all back in and make sure it gets fairly near the end. Okay, and there is your ribbon dispenser. Okay, and here again it looks on the, oops, just taking the stamp off there. And this one is on the fine one. So it's twisted a little bit because it is so delicate. It's an 1/8 of an inch, that one. Okay, this is our binding from the satin ribbon. We brought in with the Daisy Delightful Wishes set. Okay, so that's those two ribbon threaders, and just such a brilliant idea. Like I say, it was from the Pampered Stamper. So that's the first step of our ribbon storage. A couple of different sizes there, and you will find that they tend to be quite universal in their sizes. Stampin' Up! Are quite uniform with those. So if you just keep them once, then they're going to come in handy over and over. So I'll just bring that up to the camera so that you can see that a little bit better. Maybe take a screen grab of that, take that out of the way. There we go, so you can see that one. So now I'm going to go on to the box. Now the box is one like I say, I've been doing for quite a while and absolutely love it. It is a game changer as well. So you've got 2 for the price of 1 today. Oops. Just going to bring that on, and then my paper trimmer. So I am just shaving a little tiny bit off this one. I'll give you a diagram at the end, but I'm going to cut this length down to 29.5. So this is our A5 size. I didn't do it on the American size card, so I've just done it in the set metrics. And then this way we're going to go to 19.5. Okay, so So just taking off a little tiny piece there. Take those measurements down, and then this is our piece for our box. And now all you're going to do is score the edges at 5.5 all the way round. So if I pop this back in here, 5.5, this is going to be the depth of my box. So if you wanted it deeper or shallower, this is how you do it, and then work out the inside measurement and work backwards. Okay. You'll find that ribbons do come in various sizes, so it's not always the fact that you want to have a certain size box. You might want to have shallower or deeper. And I've got a lot of ribbons from before I did Stampin' Up. So here I am, I've just literally got all those 4 edges done, and I'm going to just score those, burnish those with a bone folder. Okay, and there is our little box. Okay, now as always, my scissors are the other side of the table. I was using them earlier. I'm going to use the large scissors for this. So as always with boxes, we're going to cut along one edge. This is the edge that we want to be straight. So we're cutting that straight up there, and then this one straight up there as well. Just along that crease, and then the opposite one. If you come in from the other side, then you're going to cut that wedge out. We won't have anything to hold the box up. Just up to that score line, and then the same here. Okay, now I like to do this and make it a little bit easier by tucking that piece out of the way. You want these edges to stay straight. If you tapered this one, when you build your box, you'll have a wedge out of it. Something simple like storage, it's not really an issue, but making other boxes is. So it's a good practice to get into. So now I'm going to taper this tab. So I'm just going to take a little tiny wedge from there up into that point, and then from here into the edge as well, up to that top corner. Okay, just in there. It's just taking it up to there. Okay, so, and you'll remember I refer to these as flower pots, because it looks like when you taper a corner like this, it does look a little bit like a flower pot. So up that side and along there, upwards there as well. So you've got two teapots that side, flower pots that side, and then this one, turn it round. We could do the same, tuck that flap in, and then taper the tabs. That's one, and that's two. You are better doing this with a large pair of scissors. You can do a little one, but the paper snips, but you tend to snip, snip, snip. You might end up with a little bit of a jagged line along there. Or you could use a ruler and on a mat with a craft knife. So all 4 of those now are tapered. Now it's just a simple put adhesive on these corners. Okay, I like to do 2 at a time. Okay, so we're going to tuck that one in, making sure that this corner here is nice and square on that edge, and then the same here, bring that one up, make sure it's nice and square on that edge. And I flatten it, making sure they're still lined up. Take my bone folder and just press that glue in. Okay, and there is one side of our box, perfectly made. Now these ones, you need to have the flaps on the inside, so I would suggest that you tuck them in like so first, and we're going to put these on here. Okay, some glue on there and some on this flap as well. Okay, pop that in the dish. We'll bring these 2 edges up together. Just make sure that they take in the corners. Nice straight edge there and a nice straight edge there. Just bring that out slightly. And again, press it down onto the table, take the bone folder and just press that down firmly. Okay, and there we have our little box, shallow enough to go in a drawer. Hi Anne, nice to see you. So where was my ribbons? I put them under here, didn't I? So these ones here now with our new little stoppers on the top there, they can go in there, and then this one can go in there. And once I've made these for all the other ribbons, I would be able to move them in, they would look like this. So we have to take one of those out maybe and put those two in here. It's just done in a different colour. What I was trying to do before was to keep the black ones for the current ribbon and the white ones for the retired, because I have a lot of retired ribbons. These ones will be retiring soon, these ones here, these textures. This is a very old one. It's just filling a little gap there. So these ones here are the retiring in colours, those 5. And then we'll obviously Stampin' Up! Bring out newer colours. Okay, so I hope you like that. So I'll pop them back in there so they stay together. You can see I'm going to have a busy time making all these little loopy things on here for all of my ribbons. So that was the before and this will be the after. Okay, so I hope you like that. I was going to bring on the chart for the box. So if I show you that one, you can take a screenshot of that one if I bring it up to the table. In fact, I might take a photo and just post it. Okay, so that's just a rough diagram. I've just done it by hand, put the straight line up to cut and then the taper on the tabs. Okay, just taper those out from the side. Okay, really simple idea. Hi Shaz, nice to see you. Nice you could join us. So that's my storage for my ribbons. So 2 game changers for the price of 1. Little tiny thing there, and that is the slit from the new punches. I think these are an online exclusive, so they will be in the online store and not in the catalogue. Okay, so if you're looking for these, I can give you the product number as well. The product number here is glasses. Glasses down. The product number is 165409. Okay, if anyone's looking to purchase those, pop that in the search engine at the top and it will find the product immediately for you. Okay, so I hope you enjoyed that. I'm looking forward to making some tags with these as well, with these ones on here. The little circle punch. We used to have a handheld one, and that was really nice. In fact, I think I've still got my old one. But these little ones are so much easier to handle. They're really good. So I hope you enjoyed that. And that was a quicker one today. No stamping involved, but I hope you agree that they are really, really a good way of storing your ribbon. And this, I find, is an absolute game changer. And you can still keep rolling that all the way off, and this will move around with you. Okay, and then you can roll it up as you need. Okay, really, really, really ingenious idea by the Pampered Stamper. Okay, so thanks for joining me. I'll just bring you back to the screen here. There we go. Thank you for joining me, and I will be back on, where are we? Wednesday. Yes, Wednesday. I'm around Wednesday. So I've got another project to show you on Wednesday, and we will be on usual time, 9 o'clock on a Wednesday and 8 o'clock on the Sunday evenings. Okay, so hopefully you can pop back and see us then, and say cheerio for now.